Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about 3%, Season 2, Episode 6. It's called Chapter 6, Balls. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. And this episode gave us, it had multiple threads going on, but it did give us the most focus we've had on Gloria so far. That was kind of a big theme. We started with her. She had the big emotional kind of arc throughout the episode. So, which I think was good, because she's definitely the new main character to go along with the other group, the other four that we've had since season 1.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So she gets some time. We get a little bit of sense of her, and that she is partially, if not completely, responsible for Fernando's injury, which is why he's in a wheelchair. Not that I necessarily blame her, but much like him, I don't think she was malicious about it or intended for him to be paralysed. But definitely she is there to fault.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She caused it to happen. It was her idea to go up and do the walk along the wall challenge. And then on top of that, she didn't mention the loose brick. So,
yeah,
lots of things to go with. But she has this skill, and this is kind of like why she can't just turn them in. Because the episode opens with Marcella broadcasting to everyone that anyone who turns in cause members, in the aftermath of Ezekiel's death, which again to the public was a cause attack, will get an advantage in the process. They'll get to skip a stage, skip past the interview process. I imagine would be the one they'd skip. So obviously that's tempting. She wants to go to the offshore. She's been very dedicated to that and been very excited about it. But she's conflicted by this. She sees Raphael. Of course, she doesn't know who Raphael is, but she sees Raphael policing outside, and just because one guy accuses this other guy of being a cause member, it basically leads to him being arrested.
Yeah, they're really diplomatic about it. They're like, do you know what? Look, we're not going to arrest you, but we'll just keep you on holding for a few days. And he's like, but I'll miss my process. He's like, well, isn't that a shame?
Yeah, basically, you've missed your chance.
Yeah, like they're not outright punishing him because, there's no proof that he's done anything wrong. There's no proof that he's caused. It's one word against the other. But they're just going, yeah, we won't take any chances either, though.
I don't know. The other guy giving him the finger as he's dragged off by Raphael maybe implies that there's maybe not as much truth to this as as perhaps they suspected there might be. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so Fernando's whole thing is he has this idea. He wants to broadcast because he's talking to Joanna with the walkie-talkie, and he's like, "Oh, surely we should tell everyone about this, this sterilization thing. Once they get there, you're sterilized and you can't have kids. Like, we should tell them somehow." And he actually goes up to the little like mobile centre where they get their registrations updated, and he basically pickpockets, if you will, the communicator that communicates. It broadcasts out to all the earpieces that they all have, and he doesn't know how to work it at first. He's kind of like playing with it. It's this little disc thing, this little fancy like circular tablet, and he's trying to get it to work, and he eventually does. And later on in the episode, after he's confronted, Gloria's confronted him once already. She's drunk at they've got this big parade that's happening because it's 3 days before the process or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing, and he actually broadcasts out to everyone that this is a sham. You should not believe in this. They sterilize you as soon as you get there. You can't have children. You can't have a family. And it cuts around various reactions, including hers. And I like that her and his father do recognize his voice. They know who it is. Like, yeah, that's Fernando. What's going on?
Yeah, definitely. And it's clear quite quickly that the offshore know who it is as well. Like they managed to figure it out pretty quickly because they're going, hey, Fernando, where is he?
Yeah, very quickly she has to kind of lie for him and I don't know where he is. But she ends up helping him anyway. Like she like takes him to their old like hideout, this old spot they used to go to. Well, they quote unquote got married when they were like 8 or whatever it was.
10, I think. Was it
10? There you go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sweet, and it was kind of thing, and she clearly believes this because she even asked his father, like, did you know about this? Did you ever heard this before? Well, was there any like rumors or inklings that maybe suggested that this was a thing? And he can't respond. He's kind of like he's silent. Cat's got his tongue,
which means he probably
has heard something like this before, and there's been doubts. And this, for the first time, really kind of shakes her faith in it. Even though when Fernando brings it up later, oh, now that you've like decided to not do the process, and she's like, wait, I've not decided that. Why are you assuming that?
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, they have this sweet moment before where she kisses him, and she kind of writes it off. She's like, oh, I'm too drunk to ignore that kiss, and he kind of has fun with it. He's like, oh no, I'm not going to ignore that. Like, you kissed me. This is all fine. But there is this kind of thing where she admits to everything. She admits to why she's guilty and why she feels the need to kind of be loyal to him, is that she is to blame for his injury, and she tells the story, and he's like, I already knew this, and she's like, what? He's like, yeah, your mother told me, because we find out her mother's a complete bitch who tells her she's not worthy of passing the process.
We knew this already, I think.
Yeah, we knew part of this, but we actually get a flashback at one point where she's like dragging her away from the games and like, you know, to stay away from that boy, you're just going to hurt him more and things like that. There was a lot of we get a lot more sense of what she was like in this episode, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't have to forgive you. I never blamed you. It's fine." And you know, so it's a really sweet scene, and it's kind of going back to the idea that she's been kind of this innocent party who's going to be caught up in the explosion if she goes through with the process, and this went another step further to making us care about her, making us care about her and Fernando's relationship, which is cool. So. I think that was very effective in doing that. It was inherently less exciting than the last episode, because last episode was just nothing but like intrigue and action.
I think this is one of my least favourite episodes of the season. I think part of it is I'm not super into Gloria as a character. Like I you know, as the, you know, okay, this is the one we're attached to as someone innocent who's getting caught up in all this. I like her as that, but put on a pedestal next to our main four characters, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. I like her well enough. I think she works.
I don't have a problem with her. Like, she's fine, but I don't really, you know, all the other four I really care about. Okay, what's their viewpoint on everything? What's their spin on how they interpret things?
Well, see, that's why I think she's interesting, because she's not kind of woke up from the indoctrinated like view of the process.
I get that, but to me that's less interesting. She's just there to be the innocent, you know.
Well, for now, but
for
like,
now, right,
honestly, though, this episode is what kind of sold me on her, because this is the episode where she has to help him, even though it's hurting her chances. Like, if she gets caught helping him, like this is the one that made her work more than anything for me. I mean, I liked her before well enough.
Like I said, she still works as that, and just on a base level, she works. But I just don't care that much about her. I don't know. Okay, it didn't go far. It didn't go far enough to convince me.
All right. Well, you have no heart. That's okay. But
I mean, that's not exactly news.
No, it works, because at the end, when like they come in and catch him and he's been arrested, and she's like, "Oh, it wasn't me. I never told them about you." And it kind of implies that his father is the one who did it.
Yeah. I think it's a little heavy-handed with it there for me. It is my problem, because Fernando immediately jumps to, "Oh, you sold me out." I'm like, no, she didn't. That's just why I don't even know why he would leap to that, because, you know, they've just had all these moments together. It kind of just doesn't play for me.
Nah, I'll defend it, because she literally goes to get food and then they come back.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it's going to take a lot of convincing to like convince him that it wasn't her.
No, maybe not.
I feel like even just her saying it there in the scene was enough to like let him know it wasn't her. Like, I don't know if he actually is willing to fight her on it that much. I mean, maybe I'll be proven wrong as we go.
I'm not sure.
But no, I don't have a problem with any of this. This is definitely more your thing.
It's not like I really have a problem with it. I just don't care that much either.
No, I was mostly taking their relationship part of it.
Fair enough.
More than anything else, I was liking that stuff. And meanwhile, the other plot of the episode is of course Michelle and Joanna, and them trying to find the bomb. They follow Silas and try and find where it is. And the big thing in this episode is Joanna's like trying to question, can I trust Michelle or not? That's the big thing. And at first she's like, oh yeah, I should go find the bomb, because, you know, I'm on your side. I don't want to blow up the place. And it's like, okay, all right. She's saying that. Is that true? And they follow Silas.
You're waiting for the betrayal all episode, aren't you?
You are. And we have the what I'll call the Last of Us scene. I don't know why, it just reminded me of The Last of Us a lot, where it's in the elevator shaft, and like they're both holding it up, and then the other one has to like jump down to get it, and the other one, you know, Michelle's up propping the elevator door up as Joanna's down getting the bomb. It's very makeshift. It's like made out of plastic bottles and, you know, cables and shit. And the door, as soon as she passes the bomb up before she grabs her up, she like sort of moves away and the door slams shut, and like Joanna's like, Michelle, you betraying me, Michelle, where are you? But then 30 seconds later the door opens again, and she was getting a box so Joanna could stand on it. And
Yeah.
like, okay, you're playing with this really well, because that did feel like she might have been betraying her there in that scene.
Yeah, she's as soon as she got the bomb, that's it, gone.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, I'm on your side, I'm not going to ditch you, it's fine. And then they have to run, they dodge Silas a little bit in the crowd in the parade, and there's...
I will say, I think this is the most Brazilian the show has ever felt to me, with the
Oh,
big
the parade.
flamboyant carnival.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It was very much hey, look at this.
I guess that just shows that even in this future, this is all still part of their history, and
Yeah.
it's still there. It's still in some way, it's still filtered down through the generations, and it's still part of them. But they get back to Joanna's after a bit of running and chasing, and of course, Michelle says, "Oh yeah, I remember like coming to these parades before," and Joanna's like, "Oh, I never came to these before. Like I was never a part of this world. I was never into it." And they get back to Joanna's place, and they bond a little bit. They joke a little bit about the bomb being on the bed. Like, let's not die from a bomb falling off the bed, shall we? Can we
Put it on the floor.
move
I think
over
that's
there?
sensible.
Joanna goes to get her a drink, and that's when Michelle runs off, and Joanna like sort of runs, pokes her head through the window. She gets to see her. It's like, sorry, and she's like, sorry, Joanna, but just trust me. This is what has to happen. I'm doing the right thing here. Trust me. And I'll be honest, I had no idea what she was going to do.
Well, this is the thing. I think because I suggested last episode that maybe she goes back and she goes, oh yeah, Ezekiel was like, I was undercover, so that was in my mind, is that where she's going, and it kind of is.
No, it pretty much is. She goes to Marcella and like gives her the bomb and says, "Hey, I hope this is proof that I am still on the offshore side. I was trying to like get this the whole time. I've got the bomb." And of course, Marcella plays along, but she's clearly not convinced. She's like, "Hey, Cassia, she's coming to the submarine. Keep an eye on her."
I think she's willing to give her a chance though at this point. Like,
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think she's willing to say, maybe Ezekiel did just have her doing this, and maybe this giving me the bomb legitimately is a peace offering.
She's very suspicious though of her.
Oh, absolutely.
And I would very much assume that, remember the whole VR tech that Raphael was put through? I've got a feeling that Michelle might be going through a similar test.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Coming up. But that made sense. And it's funny because on the surface, you could look at this as, okay, she said to Joanna, I'm doing the right thing. And part of me is like, you know what, no matter what this is, I'm going to believe that she kind of means that. But now that I've seen this, I'm like, is this just her selfishly trying to get her brother back? Is this got anything to do with actually helping Joanna in the cause? Or helping...
I don't know anymore with her. I really don't.
Because part of me wants to believe, no, she's a good person at heart and she is going to help in some way. But obviously she wants to get her brother back as well.
But maybe to her, being a good person is not letting loads of people get blown up.
That's true.
So you can look at it that way and completely justify it.
That is absolutely there. I can't fault that.
Which is why I think Michelle is by far the most interesting, because I don't know where she falls down at all.
But here's the thing: once she gets her brother back, do they try and get back to the inland? Like, do they want to stay in the offshore?
I have no idea. I really don't. Again, I can see them going, well, we're here, we made it, maybe we should stay. But alternatively, it's, oh, we'll always be looked at differently, maybe we should go back.
Here's a question I had. Last episode, she was listening to Michelle's tech thing or bug.
Yeah.
Couldn't she still listen to that this episode if she wanted to? Was there anything stopping her?
I don't think so. Maybe she just thinks she needed to. She'd got all the information she needed. I don't know.
I was thinking about it, like during some of the scenes with Michelle and Joanna. I'm like, is Marcella listening to this?
Maybe she is. I mean, we know it doesn't track them because Ezekiel had to keep asking her where she was to describe it, so it doesn't actually track their location. So, and from Marcella, she's already convinced that Michelle's in on this. She's already. I mean, what does she have to gain by listening to everything? Maybe she does have someone listening, going, "All right, let me know if anything important said."
I think just monitoring some cause people is the reason to listen to them.
No, that's fair.
Find out what they're planning. I mean, more than anything else. But I suppose in that sense, if Michelle's thing here is that she was just playing along so she could steal the bomb. Then everything she heard still lines up with that.
Right, you can play everything as well. I was saying what they wanted to hear,
Yeah, no,
and then you can go, well, I've got the bomb, haven't I?
I wonder if they ever addressed this, that this is still something that's linked, because because Ezekiel set this up, and I wonder if it's ever addressed that okay, this is still something that you can turn on at any time.
Yeah. Maybe the battery died. I don't know. A bit of a stretch.
It doesn't seem like this is a thing where a battery will die quickly. It seems like they probably have something that powers it for like, I don't know,
a while. Yeah.
Maybe you have to go and get like a re-up every like 5 years or something like that. But it doesn't seem.
No,
like
I agree.
Yeah.
It seems unlikely.
Yeah, this ain't. It's kind of like a battery in a watch. Typically lasts for years and years before you have to deal with it. In fact, I have never replaced a battery in a watch. Whenever the battery dies, I buy a new watch. That's what I do.
I mean, it depends if you like the watch or not.
I've never had a posh, fancy, expensive watch. If I did, I'd probably feel differently on the matter. But I typically buy cheap watches so that when they die, I just say, screw it, I'll buy the new watch.
I mean, whatever works for you.
It works for me. I mean, hell, if I could afford to just like buy new clothes every time I had to wash the clothes, I'd do that too. But I mean, you have to do that too frequently.
You do. Watches. At a minimum, you get in 2 years.
Yeah, it's always been long. I don't think I've ever had one be that.
No, that's what I mean. That's a minimum, though, right?
I feel like I feel like it's never been less than 5 years.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm pretty sure I had the same watch all through all of high school, and then. And then like the next 5 years after that, like I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So this is the thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
What a weird tangent to go on this episode.
Just this, I thought there was a really weird moment in the translation where, at the end when Cassie is greeting Michelle, like I heard Cassia say Michelle's name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I distinctly heard that, but it was not in the subtitles.
That happens all the time.
Does it? I've never noticed it before.
I don't mean this show specifically. I just mean in general and subtitle things. Like they'll rephrase things, and sometimes if there's a word that you can catch because it just in this case it's a name of a person, but sometimes it'll be something where the word's just very similar to what our word is for it. So
no, I know they do that. Typically speaking, usually when there's names involved, because they're addressing someone, that part of the sentence is usually left intact. In my experience,
it never bothered me, I guess, is what I'm saying.
No, that's fair, because usually I don't notice it. It was because I don't speak the language, so I don't know if it's what is accurate and what isn't. But that was just an interesting one because I heard the name, and usually when the name's there, they include it.
But I think you'd agree that the sentiment of what was being said was carried over.
I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, I think I noticed it, but I never registered it because I feel like you encounter that every so often where you hear, you can tell that they've not translated it word for word because they need to shorten it or they need to whatever.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So that's why if you're ever watching like a foreign language film or TV show with someone who actually speaks that language, they tend to whine a lot because it annoys them that the subtitles aren't matching what they're saying. And it's like, well, tough.
Yeah, you'll get online communities that will do literal translations compared to the official ones that are the tweaked, shall we say?
But they're tweaked for a reason.
No, I agree. But there is a whole community dedicated to just this is exactly word for word what it says.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm fine with the tweaks, quite frankly. So that's good. Yes, we know about the ending though, because obviously after Fernando's arrested, he's taken to the process building, and of course Raphael's one of the guys there,
pretending he doesn't know him.
Pretending he doesn't know him, being very kind of strict with him, and of course he takes all of his stuff. He's asking his name, and of course Fernando's like, "You know who I am, you prick," but he says it anyway. He goes through the motions.
But I like how when they do arrest him, he's like, "All right, handcuff him." And Fernando's like, well, how am I supposed to follow you? And he's like, we'll push you. Don't worry about it.
It's a good point, though. He can't move if he's handcuffed.
Well, it's true.
But, of course, he's like, okay, any contraband on the chair? He's like, no. And, of course, he puts his arm underneath. And we see the walkie-talkie. And Raphael feels the walkie-talkie. He knows what it is. And he passes him anyway. And it's this little moment where it's like, of course he is, because he's the cause. He wants Fernando to be able to do whatever he wants to do.
Right, but it's the moment for Fernando where he's
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe this guy's not the traitor I thought.
Yeah, because there's that moment, of course, where Raphael looks back at him as he's wheeling off, and he just gives him a little nod.
Yeah.
And that's what we cut to credits on. And it's quite clear what the intent of this is. It's no, Fernando just realised Raphael's on our side.
It's basically, you know, Raphael going, you're in. Go on,
Yeah.
you do what you can.
And Raphael, admittedly, he doesn't know what the plan is yet. If he finds out that there's going to be a bomb that blows everything up, including all the people, he might be for that, he might be against that. We don't know yet, but
Depends if Eliza's going to be there or not.
that's a big modifier in his opinion, absolutely. So we'll see how that plays out. But I would agree that this one isn't as exciting as the last couple of episodes, because the last couple were like big landmark. Okay, everyone's in a room and they're debating and stuff. This was sort of back to some character stuff and setting stuff up for the next couple of episodes and seeing what we can do. But that was episode 6. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv. You can do that over there. There's a link in the comments, or link in the description, I should say, as always. We have recorded 4 reviews back to back here. I'm starting to get loopy and lose it.
Still got one more to go.
We still have one more because Connor fell asleep when we were meant to record yesterday, and they've stacked up.
This is how much we do in a week. That one day, and now now we have 5 things to do.
Thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. We'll be back before the end of the week with another 3%. So look forward to that. But otherwise, that's it. So thank you once again. We'll see you next time. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?